6 categories, 6 genuinely real products, full retail price, bought directly from the brand with receipts to prove it, 6 fakes, tracked down over the last month from the exact same marketplaces. Most people already shop on every single day without a second thought. A phone, a pair of wireless earbuds, a charger, a smartwatch, a portable speaker, and a drone. 12 items total, laid out right here on this table in front of me, and today we're testing every single one of them, side by side, category by category, to find out exactly how convincing counterfeit tech has genuinely become in 2026. One of these fakes is genuinely dangerous. One of them almost completely fooled me personally, and I do this for a living. And by the end of this video, I'm going to hand all 12 of these to complete strangers off the street and see if they can actually tell which side is which. Let's get into it properly. Premise plus rules. Here's exactly how today is going to work. 6 separate categories, 1 genuinely real item and 1 fake item in each, and for every single one, the same 3 tests. Does it look the same? Does it genuinely feel the same in your hands? And does it actually work the same when it actually matters? I'll give you my honest, unfiltered take on each individual category as we go through them, good and bad, no sugarcoating anything at all, and genuinely. I want you playing along at home too throughout this entire video, because at the very end I'm laying all 12 of these items out with absolutely zero labels and bringing in real people off the street to guess which side is which. Let's start with, without question, the one everybody watching is probably already expecting. TC Smartphone's real flagship phone, one 199.9s, bought 2 days ago directly from the store. Receipt and authentication sticker, still fully intact. Fake version, $190, from a marketplace listing describing it, word for word, as brand new, sealed grade, shipped same day. Unbox them side by side, completely simultaneously, and for the first 30 seconds, they're genuinely identical in every meaningful way. Same plastic wrap with the same pull tab, same welcome graphic printed on the inner lid, same little foam tray holding the cable underneath. Pick both phones up out of the box and at arm's length, held naturally in your hand. I genuinely could not tell you with confidence which one is fake. Same screen size, same weight down to a gram or two, same camera housing on the back, same buttons in exactly the same places. Turn them both on though, and the illusion falls apart remarkably fast. The real phone boots into a proper familiar setup flow. The fake one boots into a heavily skinned operating system, dressed up to imitate the real thing as closely as possible. A genuinely good skin. Credit where it's due, the icons and animations are close, but dig one menu deeper than a casual buyer ever would, and there's a leftover diagnostic screen that has nothing to do with the actual operating system, plus a budget processor listed clearly under the hardware information, the kind of chip that belongs in a phone costing 1/10 of this price. Camera test, same daylight shot, same subject, same lighting, same distance. Real phone. Sharp, accurate colors, proper dynamic range between shadows and highlights. Fake phone, noticeably soft, over-sharpened in that artificial halo-y way around every edge. Colors blown out, trying desperately to fake that expensive phone look and simply not landing it. And then, because I genuinely wanted a real stress test rather than just a spec sheet comparison, I dropped both phones from exactly the same height onto exactly the same hard studio floor. Real phone, a small scuff on the corner, screen completely intact. Fake phone, a full spiderweb crack straight across the entire display. Because whatever glass that actually is, it is absolutely not the reinforced glass advertised in the original listing. Verdict. Genuinely convincing right up until the moment you actually turn it on and start properly using it. Then the entire illusion falls apart fast. The wireless earbuds, real pair of flagship earbuds, $249. Fake pair, $19. Bought from the exact same seller who sold me the phone case I'm going to show you a little later in this video. Visually, genuinely impressive work here. Same case shape, same matte white finish, same tiny LED indicator sitting in exactly the same spot. Even the same little speaker grill cut into the bottom of the case. If I showed you a photo of just the closed case sitting on a table, I genuinely don't think most people watching this would catch it. Open the case up though, and it starts to unravel fast. The real buds have a genuinely satisfying magnetic snap pulling them cleanly out. The fake ones just slide out loosely with no magnet at all, and the stems themselves are a couple of millimeters thicker, which you genuinely start to feel the moment you've worn them for more than a few minutes at a time. Down test, one bud from each pair, one in each ear at once, directly comparing them in real time rather than relying on memory. Real pair, deep, controlled bass, properly balanced mids, and switching on noise cancellation genuinely makes the entire room around you go quiet in a way that's hard to describe until you've experienced it. Fake pair, thin, tinny, essentially no low end at all, and the noise cancellation toggle on the case lights up and does absolutely nothing to the actual sound whatsoever. Battery claim printed on the box says 30 hours of total battery life with the case included. I put the fake case on charge for 2 hours, checked it, and it had already dropped to 40%. Verdict: one of the closest visual matches on today's entire list, and simultaneously one of the biggest functional gaps the moment sound actually comes out of them: the charger. This next one is genuinely the category that worries me the most out of everything sitting on today's table. Real 20-watt wall charger, purchased directly from the brand. Fake one, roughly $6 including shipping. They look almost completely identical sitting side by side. Same size, same rounded shape, same small logo stamped into the white plastic, though the font on the fake one is very slightly heavier and slightly wider if you look closely enough to compare them directly. Here's the part that actually matters most today though. I had an electronics engineer friend of mine open both of these chargers up before we started filming, because charger safety genuinely isn't something I'm comfortable guessing about on camera. The real charger has proper internal insulation completely separating the live wiring from the outer casing, along with full safety certification stamped inside the shell. The fake one, when he opened it up, had almost no meaningful insulation between the live wire and the outer casing at all. That's not a sounds a bit worse kind of problem. That's a this could genuinely start a fire or shock the person holding it kind of problem. So full transparency here, because it genuinely matters more than any joke in this entire video. Do not buy fake chargers from anyone ever, under any circumstances. Out of everything sitting on today's entire table, this is the one category where the fake product isn't just worse. It's actually genuinely dangerous to own. Same story, smaller stakes, with the bundled charging cable. The real one has a proper woven braid on the outer sheath and is rated for thousands of bend cycles before it fails. I bent the fake one back and forth roughly 40 times on camera, completely by hand, no tools involved, and you can already see thin strands of copper wire starting to poke through the cracked plastic jacket. Verdict: the single cheapest item in dollars on today's entire list, and simultaneously genuinely the single most dangerous one to actually own and use. Smartwatch, real smartwatch, $429. Fake one, $45. And this is genuinely, honestly, the one that almost got me personally. I did not think anyone had faked a proper smartwatch this convincingly before I actually held this one in my own hand. The physical design here is genuinely a dead ringer for the original. Same digital crown, same textured side button, same gently curved screen edge catching studio light in exactly the same way. Side by side on the wrist, at a glance in a quick photo, you genuinely would not know which is which. Look closer though, and the fake's screen resolution is noticeably lower, with text on the watch face appearing slightly fuzzy up close, though from 3 or 4 feet away it remains completely convincingly identical to the real thing. Function-wise though, it's an entirely different story once you actually rely on it. The real watch does full continuous heart rate tracking, blood oxygen monitoring, and proper fitness data that actually syncs correctly with a companion health app on your phone, plus full cellular connectivity. The fake watch can tell the time reasonably accurately and count steps in a genuinely rough, inaccurate way. I walked exactly 100 steps in a straight line, counting each one out loud on camera, and it registered 340. Verdict: the single closest visual fake on today's entire list, and honestly the biggest reminder all day that looks identical and is identical are two genuinely, completely different things. Portable speaker, real portable speaker, $179. Fully waterproof, rated for complete submersion. Fake one, $25, advertising the exact same waterproof rating printed right there on the box. Physically, these two speakers are nearly identical. Same fabric mesh finish wrapped around the body. Same rubberized buttons on top. Similar overall weight in the hand. Same exact track. Same exact volume level on both. Real speaker, full, properly balanced sound across the whole range, clear bass without any distortion even pushed up loud. Fake speaker, bass boosted to the point of genuine muddiness right out of the gate, and past around 60% volume, it starts crackling noticeably on anything with real bass content in it. Then comes the actual test that genuinely matters here. I submerge both speakers fully in a bucket of water for exactly the rated time printed on the packaging. No more, no less. Real speaker comes back out, still playing the exact same track, completely unaffected by any of it. Fake speaker comes back out, and it's simply completely dead. Doesn't turn back on at all, no matter how long I let it dry out afterward. Verdict: a fake that genuinely, completely cannot do the one single thing its entire box is built around advertising in the first place. The drone. This is genuinely the one I was most nervous to test today, because a fake drone running fake flight electronics felt like it had real potential to actually be dangerous, not just disappointing. Real drone, $799, with proper obstacle avoidance and full flight stabilization built directly in. Fake one, and to be fair to the counterfeiters here, from about 10 feet away, this genuinely looks like a slightly scaled-down version of the real thing. Same folding arm design, similar camera gimbal housing underneath. Fly them both in the exact same open field, back-to-back, same wind conditions on the same afternoon. The real drone holds a rock-steady hover even with a light breeze pushing against it. GPS lock is instant the moment you take off, and the footage that comes back is smooth and properly stabilized throughout. The fake drone drifts constantly, has essentially no meaningful GPS hold at all, and the footage it captured looks like it was filmed handheld during an earthquake. I also tested the advertised obstacle avoidance feature by flying both slowly toward the same tree from the same distance, one right after the other. The real drone detected it and stopped itself a couple of feet short entirely on its own. The fake drone flew directly into the branches without slowing down at all. Verdict: genuinely one of the most convincing fakes to look at from a distance on today's entire list, and simultaneously the least trustworthy one to actually fly. How I actually tracked all 6 fakes down. Before we get to the public test, I want to quickly show you exactly what tracking down all 6 of these fakes actually looked like, because I genuinely think it matters for understanding how normal this problem has quietly become. Every single fake on this table came from a completely ordinary-looking marketplace listing. Not some sketchy corner of the internet, not a forum, just the exact same apps and websites most people already shop on every single day of the week. The listing photos were in almost every single case the exact same official product photography lifted directly from each brand's own store page. Shipping took anywhere from 4 days to almost 3 weeks depending on the item, and every single package arrived in genuinely convincing retail packaging, complete with fake authenticity stickers and fake warranty cards tucked neatly inside. None of these listings were remotely hidden or hard to find. I found 5 of the 6 within the very first page of search results for each product's name, which is genuinely the most unsettling part of this entire process for me. You don't have to go looking for trouble at all to end up with one of these sitting on your doorstep. The public test. So now, the part I promised you right at the very start of this video. I laid out all 12 items, 6 real, 6 fake, across one long table, completely mixed up, absolutely zero labels anywhere, and brought in 6 random people off the street to guess which side was which, category by category. The phone was genuinely the easiest one for almost everyone in the group. Most people picked up on the weight difference within just a few seconds of holding both side by side. The earbuds, on the other hand, tripped up nearly the entire group completely. 2 separate people confidently picked the fake pair as the real one, purely because, in their own words, the case felt heavier, so it must be the nicer one. The smartwatch fooled 4 out of the 6 people completely, right up until the moment they actually turned both screens on and started comparing them properly. And the charger, genuinely the single most dangerous item sitting anywhere on that entire table, fooled 5 out of 6 people, which is honestly the single most unsettling result out of this entire video for me personally. Every time I run one of these tests, the drone was, interestingly enough, the one item nobody in the entire group got wrong. It turns out that even without actually flying either of them, most people could immediately spot the cheaper plastic and noticeably lighter weight of the fake the moment they picked it up in their hands. Average score across all 6 participants, across all 6 categories combined, exactly half correct. Final recap, running back through all 6 categories one more time before we wrap up properly. The phone, nearly indistinguishable until you actually turn it on. Then the fake falls apart within minutes. The earbuds, one of the closest visual matches all day, paired with one of the widest functional gaps the moment sound actually plays. The charger, the cheapest item in dollars, and the single most dangerous item on the entire table, full stop, the smartwatch. Genuinely the item that came closest to fooling me personally, right up until I relied on it for anything beyond telling the time. The speaker, a fake that simply cannot survive the one specific test its own box promises it can. And the drone, convincing sitting still on a table, completely unconvincing the moment either of them actually leaves the ground. Verdict: so, 6 categories, 12 products, and one genuinely consistent pattern showing up across every single one of them today. Visually, these counterfeiters have gotten scarily good at nailing the exterior, the packaging, and even the exact marketing language printed on the box itself. But the second any of these things actually has to do its job, track your heart rate accurately, survive a normal drop, play genuinely accurate sound, hold a stable hover in the air, or in the worst possible case, safely charge overnight right next to your bed, nearly every single one of them falls apart completely. And with that charger specifically, falls apart honestly isn't even the right phrase for it anymore. It's simply actually unsafe to own at all. So here's my genuine, honest takeaway after testing all 12 of these side by side. If a deal on tech genuinely looks too good to be true, it is, every single time without exception. Buy from the brand directly, or from a properly authorized retailer. Full stop. No exceptions. Because gear that looks 90% right, but only actually works 30% right, isn't a bargain at all. It's simply an expensive lesson with a few extra steps attached to it. If you want me to run this exact same test on a completely different set of 6 categories next, let me know clearly down in the comments which ones specifically, and I will absolutely go and find the best fakes money can buy.